follow along and I'm going to show you all the steps to make a beautiful beef chuck roast stew. Oh yeah. Hello, Chef here with another recipe for you. What do we have here? We have a boneless black Angus beef chuck roast, and I'm going to walk you through all the moves on how to make this a great recipe. First of all, this was on sale. You could pay $10 a pound or $5 a pound. It depends on your area and your butcher. This particular cut weighs about 2.7 pounds, and normal price was here, and then they reduced it down a little bit, so it was about $5 a pound right here. That's a pretty good deal, I believe. It's a nice cut of meat, and it looks very, very fresh. There's nothing wrong with this piece of black Angus. So follow along, and I'm going to give you a real quick recipe on how to prepare it. First of all, the first thing I like to do is remove these stupid little diapers they put in there, because they just absorb liquid and that adds weight. That's a butcher trick right there. No thank you. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to season this piece of meat up. It's got a substantial amount of fat, little cap on here. That's okay, I'm not going to remove it. You should remove anything with blue ink or change of color, just because you don't know how that's going to taste or affect you. You never know. So here we go. Moving along, I've got this beautiful piece of meat here. It is a little bit on the fatty side on the bottom. Another butcher trick. They love to hide the extra fat. That's okay though. I'm going to be adding a variety of root vegetables and other things, and that little bit of fat's okay. Now the first thing I'm going to do is season it. We're going to put a generous amount of salt and pepper on both sides of this piece of meat, just like this. Notice I'm still using the styrofoam that it was packed in. I don't want to make a huge mess all over my butcher block unless I have to. Okay, black pepper, like I said, both sides, generous amount. That's the first step with a nice roast like this. Oh yeah, looking good. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to put is next thing I'm going to put on this particular piece of meat is going to be some thyme. I like a little thyme. Okay, this is dry thyme. I prefer fresh thyme. I just don't happen to have any fresh thyme right now. We're going to put a little bit on like this, and we're going to rub it in. And there's one more ingredient I like to put on every piece of beef roast that I'm making. Okay. Chef's secret blend of Cajun spices. We got to put a little bit of that on there too. Just like that. Rub it in, both sides. Ideal. Okay. And we're good to go. There's one little thing missing. I'm going to show you real quickly what that is. The thyme. If you've got the thyme, I've got the thyme. But seriously, if you need these herbs, visit the sponsor. They've got them. And wow, they're fresh. There's one more thing. If you got the thyme, we're going to make this kind of a wet rub too. We're going to put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on here, and we're going to let it sit for a while. We're going to maybe massage it in like this. Oh yeah. And we're going to let it sit for just a little while. There's no hurry in cooking. This is slow food, the exact opposite of fast food. Oh yeah. I'll be back. We're going to be cooking this beautiful piece of beef in a Dutch oven. But first things first. I've got 1 pound of bacon here. It's pretty good. It's hickory smoked. It's a little bit on the salty side. But anyway, we're going to use it. Oh, chef is helping you live longer. So sure, you can chop it up and throw it right in the pot. But why? you want to render some of this fat off of the bacon and use the fat for something else, and or your livestock. When I say livestock, I mean cats, dogs, chickens, pigs, horses, whatever you got. They like a little bit of bacon fat too, so you might as well put a little bit into their diet. It's also good with bird seed. If you want to make your own suet, there's nothing wrong with that. That's all you need is some bacon fat and some bird seed, and you've got suet. Okay, once I've lined up my bacon properly like this, it's going to cook more evenly and render the fat where I want the fat, which is not in my heart or my blood. I just want the flavor. So a little bit of flavor is good. Bake this bacon at 350 till it's semi-crispy, and we'll continue. Okay, my Dutch oven is getting hot. I've got medium heat going here. I'm using some canola oil. I like the fact that it is USA as well as no cholesterol. So it's a healthy choice. Higher burning point. We're going to put about 2 ounces of canola oil into this Dutch oven pan. And when it gets nice and hot, oh yeah, it's there. I'm going to add my beef roast. And you let it cook. Okay, notice a little bit of browning around the perimeter. We're going to turn it over one time. And you let it cook. Oh yes, looking good. At this point we turn off the heat and move on to our next step. Okay, some of the ingredients going into my beef pot roast are going to be few cloves of garlic, couple of onions, pound of carrots, half a pound of cremini mushrooms, and I'm going to be using something unusual here. I've got fresh plum tomatoes that are super ripe. I've also got sun-dried tomatoes. They're going to add a different flavor and texture as well. So follow along. I'll show you the steps. Here we go. Smashing the garlic makes it much easier and faster to peel. Ah, the bacon looking good. You can see all that fat coming off of there. Some of that fat, like I said, will go to livestock, and I'll be using the bacon in this recipe. I'm using one of these Japanese santoku knives. Also notice it's paired with the cutting board, the ideal chopping surface. For stew, I'm just going to go with a rough chop like this so it gets distributed properly, and this knife works beautifully, by the way. As I mentioned in my other videos, scraps like onion peels go in my stock scrap bin, and this will in turn get stored in the freezer until I'm ready to make another stock. Oh yeah, you're learning valuable tips here from the chef. Make sure to subscribe, like, love, and share the videos. You should be using ideal butcher blocks by now, as well as Japanese knives, and continue to learn and evolve, and I will help you live longer. Oh yeah. Okay, to go quickly with this onion, I'm simply going to give it a cut like this, each one of these. Going to be cutting about 3/4 of the way through, just like that. And then I'm going to line each onion up and just give it a couple cuts like that. Turn it right there. We're looking for a medium dice, nothing fancy. That's it right there. Carrots also get cut into bite-sized pieces. Not too big, not too small. If you get any really large ones, then you want to split them lengthwise like this. Okay, good to go. Got all my ingredients ready here. I'm going to put a few potatoes as well. These are very small ones. Just going to give them a split like this. Now we start to add everything to the Dutch oven. I do like to put my garlic first. Put a touch more oil in there. Followed by some onions. Some of the carrots. And I decided to use about half of the pound of bacon, just cut into nice chunks like this. Like I said, slow food. This takes time. I cooked something very similar with Paul Prudhomme back in the day, and trust me, everything takes a lot of time to do it correctly. Let it cook. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for right there. Okay, the bacon goes in. The tomatoes go in. Looking good. The piece of beef roast goes back in, right on top of everything. At this point, I'm going to be adding 12 ounces of beer. As well as 12 ounces of beef stock. I'm going to put the cover on this. I'm going to roast this at 275 degrees Fahrenheit for a few hours. Oh yeah, I'll be back. Almost forgot the bay leaf. Goes right into the liquid, as well as some of these mushrooms go around the perimeter. One more thing, just a little chef's secret, some tips for you here. It's a good idea to put just a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. It's going to help this get browned. Yeah, it's going to be good. Extra pepper. I'll be back. Okay, here we go. This is about 2.5 hours later. can see that meat looking good. And those vegetables have broken down a little bit. Next step. The next step is to remove the roast and set it on the maple cutting board. We're going to let it rest there for at least minimum 10 minutes. Meanwhile, we're going to have to thicken the rest of our broth. Finish this stew. You can see it's looking really, really good. That's where most of the flavor is. The meat has shrunk in size, and most of the flavor and nutrients have ended up right here in this amazing broth. I'm going to be thickening this with cornstarch and water slurry. Follow along. Equal parts cornstarch and water. And the thickening process begins. The finished thickened stew, looking really, really good. We need to taste and adjust the seasoning, and in this case I'm going to need about half a teaspoon of salt, and we're going to put just a dash of smoked paprika. It's going to just enhance the flavor a little bit, and then once you add that, you need to do one more taste and adjustment. Oh yeah. Pepper. Salt. That's going to be good. Be plating this up in just a moment. Okay, I'm using 3 items here. A slicer, meat slicer, a meat fork, and a maple cutting board. All 3 are essential. I'm going to show you very quickly how I like to carve this roast. And that is the correct way to carve a roast. You need these 3 items. Once again, meat fork, meat slicer, maple cutting board. Oh yeah, looking good. Okay, I'm just plating up some of this beef chuck roast here. And I'm going to put a generous amount on the plate. Yeah, we got some of the root vegetables there. Got a couple of potato chunks, just like that. Want to make sure we get some of these mushrooms. Oh yeah. And we're going to put a nice portion of the beef roast straight across like this. We're going to put just a few drops of balsamic vinegar, a little garnish. I've got some fresh thyme. I'll put a little bit on the meat like this. And I'll put a little sprig over here, like so. Also, I do believe that the beautiful plate like this should have another garnish, so I'm just going to put a little tomato slice like this. Right here, a little fresh tomato to complement the herbs. Oh yeah, this is going to be good. Drop a comment, like, share, subscribe. Try out the recipe and search the chef's channel. This is a database of valuable, priceless recipes. Help you improve your cooking. Most importantly, score the tools. Buy the best quality the first time. Santoku knives from Japan, the real deal. Butcher Block, USA. Custom sizes, free shipping. Check out the sponsor. This is the good stuff. Wow. This beef roast stew is going to be amazing. Thanks for watching. Share the love. Get cooking and have a great day. You know, I think we need to put just a touch more of this broth right over the top. Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. Made in USA, braided stainless steel. It's got a white nylon coating for comfort. This glove will last. I'm gonna guess it will last you 10 to 20 years, using it heavily. Thanks for watching. Smash the like button, subscribe right here. Visit the sponsor, shop small, and have a wonderful holiday season. Wow, the Jambus Cucina Elegante, handcrafted with the finest American hardwoods, food service grade stainless steel. The Elegante features 1.5-inch thick butcher block, available in several sizes and with several options. Call your sponsor and save money. Ask for a discount. Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. Boost blocks. Buy the best the first time. Save money.